Hello, everybody. I am Keaton of Kinetic Catholic Ministries, Season 13, Episode 19. I hope that you all are having an absolutely wonderful Tuesday so far. Before we get into it, if you guys like this hoodie, which I personally am a fan of it, I like how it's straight to the point, you can get your very own. Go to kineticcatholicshop.com. Check it out. There's so many awesome different merchandise up there. We have some stuff that says Kinetic Catholic, but then we have some stuff like this that isn't necessarily brand related. And it comes in a whole bunch of different colors. Please do go check that out. You can get yourself some awesome merchandise. So, guys, Thanksgiving is coming up this Thursday. Thanksgiving, can I just say, I know a lot of people like to kind of jump to Christmas right now. I get it. The Christmas feeling, the Christmas kind of vibes that are in the air are amazing, right? They're unable to compare to any other holiday. But Thanksgiving deserves its respect. Thanksgiving deserves its time to shine, okay? I'm not saying, hey, don't listen to Christmas music. I'm just saying, in addition to, let's give Thanksgiving some some respect. Thanksgiving is a great holiday, a great time to show gratitude, and the idea of thankfulness is in the air, right? It's in the name, Thanksgiving. Maybe more so this time than ever throughout the rest of the calendar year. And so I think that it's important that we understand gratitude as Catholics, and more specifically that we understand gratitude not just in the sense of like, oh, I'm thankful for something, but understand gratitude in terms of how it is a Catholic virtue. Because gratitude is more than just like a feeling or something you say. Gratitude is in and of itself a virtue. I don't know if any of you guys have run into this. I feel like a lot of times when we're giving thanks or when we're praying, we sometimes forget to give thanks, right? It's a lot of asking for things. It's a lot of uncertainty. It's a lot of, hey, here are the struggles in my life. Sometimes we forget to give thanks. Just having a good prayer of just giving thanks is great. And I feel like we hear that a lot, right? Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But I feel like I hear all the time, yes, we need to start giving thanks more. And so I think about it and then I do, and then it kind of falls off again, right? It's hard to maintain the habit. And so Thanksgiving is a great time of the year for many reasons, but specifically because this can be a great motivator to start giving thanks in our consistent prayer life to God, and then understanding, hey, this is something that I should keep up all year round, not just during Thanksgiving, if that makes sense. Our thankfulness to God, and also the thankfulness to people within our lives who have impacted us, right? I'm thinking parents, I'm thinking siblings, I'm thinking friends, whatever it might be, whoever you can think of that deserves gratitude. Now, how is gratitude a virtue? Well, gratitude is a virtue, and it's one that flows from humility. Okay, I feel like sometimes we forget this. Humility and gratitude are directly tied to one another. Humility, okay, I think sometimes it gets there's a lot of misconceptions about it, right? Humility is not the saying like, I am less than, I am nothing. Like, no. Like, there's nothing necessarily wrong with like acknowledging your talents, just not in a prideful way, right? Acknowledging that you have value, because we all have value. And so, understanding that humility is understanding that the gifts, that the things that we have do not come from us, but come from God. Humility is understanding that the gifts, that the talents, that those things that we possess come directly from God. And that's how it ties into gratitude, right? Because there's a sense of significance, there's importance in giving thanks and being grateful for the gifts, for the talents that God has given us. And that's a part of humility. Humility is understanding that we, a lack of putting ourselves on a pedestal, right? Understanding that, yes, I have talents, yes, I'm good at things, but those talents come directly from God, and I am grateful to God for those talents. Saint Teresa of Avila has a great quote. Quote, "If souls are humble, they will be moved to give thanks." It's a natural thing, right? As we talked about, sometimes when we're consciously trying to be like, yes, I need to give thanks more, I need to be more grateful, sometimes we lose that habit because it's unnatural, right? Because we're not completely used to giving thanks to God nearly as much as we should. And so It's a natural, it's not particularly natural. But the second that we have a humble heart, the second that we start to recognize that our gifts come from God, the second we start to develop that humility, which that's not something that can happen overnight, right? Humility takes time to slowly but surely develop. But the second that we come to have humility, gratitude, gratefulness comes about naturally. Because we are able to understand the great things about us, and rather than flex those or put ourselves on a pedestal, understand, hey, these cool things about me, right? These things that I might have in my life, they come from God. And I am to give him thanks for that, not to take credit for that on my own. Now, I'm not trying to sit here and say, hey, you can never do anything good in your life. It's all God. Nothing is on you, right? No, that's not what I'm saying. Obviously, we ourselves, we do a lot of really awesome things, right? But at the end of the day, we wouldn't be able to do anything without God, right? God is still the ultimate creator. No, I'm not saying that, like, you would never do anything skillful or cool. No, like we all do, obviously. We all do a lot of really awesome things. But at the end of the day, giving thanks to the one who even allowed us to do those awesome things, right? Like, let's just use the example of playing basketball, right? It's winning a game, right? Winning a basketball game. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, like, yeah, my team won. We did really well. But also allow me to give thanks to God for even allowing us to play, right? For even helping to keep us from being injured. Or whatever it may be, there's always a way to thank God because God is in everything. Because God ultimately created us. He gave us gifts and talents in general. So I'm not trying to sit here and say never feel proud of anything you accomplish. No, obviously you should, but we should also understand the ultimate source of everything in the universe. And that ultimate source is the omnipotent and omniscient God. Omnipotent meaning all-powerful, and omniscient meaning all-knowing. At the end of the day, it comes from him. I mentioned briefly earlier the significance of showing gratitude to family members, to friends, to those around us within our lives. I think that shouldn't be just a Thanksgiving thing, right? I mean, it is a Thanksgiving thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's good to show gratitude around this time, but after Thanksgiving is over this Thursday, after it ends, let's kind of take a moment and say, wait, how often do I do that? Something that I started last summer because of a leadership camp that I went to that's actually been really, really helpful for me. And I want to challenge. I typically don't do challenges in my videos, but I'm going to try to include more, like a weekly challenge, okay? And the weekly challenge this week, and we'll see if it's an every week thing. It may not be. But the weekly challenge this week is we all have a cell phone. Or I say most of us watching have a cell phone. I shouldn't assume all. Most of us watching have a cell phone. So on your cell phone, you know how you can like set reminders, kind of at least on the iPhone. You can set reminders, and you can set them up for a weekly time. At this leadership camp, we set a reminder for ours is Sunday at 3 p.m. for gratitude. That's all the reminder says. All it says is gratitude. And I set the reminder, and I set it to go off weekly, and now every Sunday at 3 p.m. I kind of look at it when I get the notification, and I think back on the week, and I think like, wait, how have I been helped this week by other people? Who deserves gratitude for what they've done for me this week, right? And I kind of go over it, and I think about it, I pray about it, and it's really, really helpful. I'm not saying this to sit here and be like, look at me, guys, I do that. No, like, guys, gratitude is something I've struggled with a lot, right? I've dealt with it a lot, which is why this sort of remind thing, this notification helps so much, because it's something so simple and so easy to do and practical, but it's something that we can look at and be like, boom, gratitude to those around us, and to think back, how have I been helped this week, right? Who in my life deserves gratitude? And beyond that, giving gratitude to God. Because God deserves our gratitude every single day. Because at the end of the day, there wouldn't be life without him. He is love. He is ultimately our loving Savior who sent his only son to die on the cross for us. The cross is love, right? And so that's just so important to remember as we get into Thanksgiving, that yes, it's a secular holiday, but also gratitude is a virtue within Catholicism, and it's something that we as Catholics, it's important for us to understand, for us to practice, and to make practical changes to our day-to-day life to try to express more gratitude. It's not going to be an overnight thing where it's like suddenly we're super thankful all the time. No, like it's going to take some time. It's going to take building up a habit of expressing gratitude to God and to others, but ultimately it will be fulfilling and it will be worth it. So now that the topic is done, do y'all know what it is time for now. It's time for
the Saint of the Week.
And today's saint of the week is Saint Catherine of Alexandria. Now, Saint Catherine of Alexandria has a pretty interesting story because there's not a ton that's known about her. Now, her feast day is the day after Thanksgiving, so it's this coming Friday the 25th of November. And she's a saint who, even though there's little known about her, that doesn't stop veneration to her. Now, there's little that's like officially, factually known, but there is a lot of sort of legends and stories about her. And so I think that it's cool to dive into those regardless. So she was born in royalty, and she actually converted to Christianity. How, when, we're not really sure. We're not even really sure her date of birth or when she died. We just know that veneration to her started as a result of the Crusades, and we can assume that she was around the 3rd, 4th century-ish. Is basically the details that we have. Anyway, she converted to Christianity and actually ended up, through her like awesome debating skills, she took on hundreds of pagans alone and converted hundreds just by debating the Christian faith, and even converted some people of the emperor's family, which is like absolutely mind-blowing. And when we're talking about the significance of gratitude, of humility, understanding that our gifts come directly from God. Talk about a gift that comes directly from God, right? The ability to defend the Catholic faith that strongly, to convert hundreds of pagans. And again, at the time, women weren't entirely taken very seriously. While we're not entirely sure her location, we can assume that her location was a place where that still would have been the case, just because it was the majority of the world at the time. And so her ability to not let that phase her at all is absolutely amazing. And so St. Catherine of Alexandria then continued to be executed. The emperor ordered that all those who had converted are to be martyred. They are to be killed. And so hers was actually through like a wooden spike that she was going to be attached to, but when she touched the spike, it actually shattered, and so she ended up being beheaded. And the story has it that centuries later, her body was carried by angels to the foot of Mount Sinai, which is just absolutely amazing. And like her ability to debate and her ability to stand strong regardless is just, it's absolutely wonderful. And when we're sitting here and we're talking about gratitude, we're talking about the importance of understanding, like, yeah, our gifts come from God. St. Catherine of Alexandria is a great person to look through because she is a shining example of somebody who absolutely had that gratitude, because she had that humility, because she had such amazing gifts, yet understood that they came from God. St. Catherine of Alexandria, pray for us. So before you guys click off this video, again, if you want to get your very own Kinetic Catholic merch, please go to kineticcatholicshop.com and you can check it out up there. Also, I've been advertising this the past couple of weeks. We here at Kinetic Catholic Ministries are partnering with Project YM on a live event called The E-Word. There's a book released by Michael Marchand called The E-Word. I heavily suggest that you check it out. And there's kind of a live event version of the book where you can book it for your parish, and Michael will come and speak to the adults and I will come and speak to the kids. It's an absolutely amazing thing. If you want more information on that, go to theeword.cc/live. So it looks like the word, right? Because it's like the E-word. So just to clarify, theeword.cc/live. Heavily suggest that you check it out. Also, please check out the website in general, kineticcatholicministries.com. So many awesome things you can do on there. All my videos are up there. Details about the ministry is up there. You can contact us up there. Also, please check out the shop. Like I mentioned, please click the red subscribe button down below and the bell next to it. That way you get notified when I come out with a new video. Going back to the website, if you want to click the contact us page, you you can reach out to us and reach out to me about coming to speak, because I'm not just a YouTuber, I'm also a Catholic speaker. So you can book me to come and speak to your church, school, youth group, men's group, women's group, whatever it is, you name it. Please reach out to us by going to the website, or reach out to us on any of the 3 of our social medias. The link to all 3 of those will be in the description down below. We are happy to kind of get that planned. Please comment and send your topic suggestions that you might have for future videos. Guys, I hope you really enjoy spending time with your family this Thanksgiving break. I hope it's an absolutely lovely one. And have a great Thanksgiving, guys. This was Keaton of Kinetic Catholic Ministries. I will see you all next week, and hi, Brielle.